Can you do that on a motorcycle?
Well, new for 2013 is this Honda Goldwing F6B. You can think of it as a younger sibling to their flagship Goldwing. Essentially, this is a Goldwing bike that has a lower center of gravity. They've taken the engine and they've moved it slightly forward. I believe they've lowered the center of gravity in this bike. The seating position is somewhat different. They've blended the side cases into the fairing work on the rear. They've eliminated the top case on the back of the bike. They've chopped the windshield in the front. Ergonomically, this bike is just much more pleasing to look at. It's targeted for a younger market. To make a somewhat derogatory comment, I guess this kind of reminds me of the Judge Dredd bike from the movie that Sylvester Stallone was in. But nonetheless, I think it's a good-looking bike. I wouldn't be embarrassed to be seen on this bike, especially on long distance or touring. I think it's cool. It has a very retro sort of look to it. It's almost got a very raw feeling to the bike. There's a lot of accessories on this bike, which Goldwings typically have, anywhere from cruise control to trip odometer, trip control, computers. You have heated grips on this bike. And the other thing that's important to know about this bike is not slow by any stretch of the imagination. If you go on some of the other YouTube channels or just look up Goldwing top speed or whatever, my jaw literally dropped when I saw how these guys were driving them on the Tail of the Dragon. For those of you who don't know what the Tail of the Dragon is, you just look it up. This bike with a proficient rider would embarrass most guys on an R6. I mean, that's how decent this bike, and this bike weighs every bit of 850 pounds. That's lighter than the standard Goldwing, but it's still, I mean, think about it. That's a heavy bike. But anyway, new for 2013, very impressed with the new look of the Honda F6B. One last comment is I really liked the way they did the rear end of this bike. It kind of almost reminds me of like a 1950s cruiser or whatever, but with a modern twist, if you look at it here. This is just a really impressive bike all the way around. As you can see, the luggage is integrated right into the back of the bike. It's almost like you don't even know it's there. That's how well they did this bike. So anyway, there you have it. If you're willing to drop 20 large on a decent touring cruiser, that's the Honda Goldwing F6B.